All right. Okie doke, folks. Back through the 80s and all through the 90s, there was a Fiddle and Dance Weekend that would occur on this private farm not far from the town of Kimmswick, Missouri. Kimmswick was a tiny little community, not very far at all from the Mississippi River, south of St. Louis, Missouri, approximately an hour south of St. Louis, south of downtown St. Louis. You go due south approximately an hour, and then cut off into the hills off of the interstate. There was a lovely old private farm where we used to have these marvelous dance weekends, and the local dance community around St. Louis had undertaken to build a dance pavilion out there on the property, an open air dance pavilion that could accommodate approximately, 20 couples. If it were a square dance, it'd be at least 20 couples, or certainly two very long contra dance lines. It was just a marvelous open air pavilion built out of recycled timber and recycled lumber. The whole property was next to a beautiful, clear little Missouri Creek, a little stream there. Many old trees on the property, huge trees, cottonwoods and oaks along the creek. There was a barn that was well over 100 years old, a really cool old 2-story barn, which was used for a lot of the community activities during the weekend, such as meals and general mayhem of one kind or another. But even though the property and the farm was actually a fair number of miles away from the actual town of Kimmswick, everybody referred to this dance weekend as Kimmswick. Hey man, you going to Kimmswick this weekend? Yeah, I'm gonna go. And of course, a lot of people would camp out there, just do tent camping, no RVs, or anything like that, but just tent camping, rough camping. Some people would sleep in their cars, and things of that kind. We'd have old time string bands, one after the other, play in a small enclave that came off the side of the dance floor, that was built just for the little string bands that would come and play. And I was fortunate enough to be amongst a rotation of bands that played for this dance weekend. And oh boy, we had some fun times. On a couple of occasions, I played the late shift, which meant that I played from 3 in the morning until 5 in the morning. And the dance floor would be full, man. 3 in the morning, absolutely full. Oh, the times we had. Things happened down there that I can't even share with you. They're too bizarre and, shall we say, of such a sensitive nature that they shall have to remain unpublished. Oh my God. Many years later, after some of the first dances I played out there, I don't even remember exactly when it occurred, or the circumstances surrounding why it occurred. but I at some point actually composed a waltz uh, in honor of these Kimmswick dance weekends, and this my composition occurred. The composing of this piece occurred after we lost the farm. The dance community lost access to the farm, and as a matter of fact, the people who actually lived in the farmhouse there, who allowed us to use their property for this dance weekend, they were getting quite old. They ended up selling the whole property, and of course, that spelled doom for the dance weekends. The property was sold, and unfortunately, the sons of bitches, the real estate developers, came in there with a vengeance, and they tore the whole beautiful, beautiful, beautiful old property. They tore it all to hell. They with earth moving equipment, they resculptured the whole entire area. They destroyed the creek, filled in the creek, cut down all the old growth trees. They the barn was gone. The house where the old folks lived was torn down, and then they built suburban homes, all attractive suburban homes all through that area there. They leveled the ground and built suburban homes, each one on about, a quarter acre or a half acre or even less, and filled up the whole area with these crap ass, shitty suburban homes, and changed the entire historical integrity of the whole entire site. You can't even find anymore. You can't even locate anymore where these dance weekends used to occur. But they were marvelous when they did happen back in those days. So much fun was had by so many people. All they wanted to do was just go out there and dance, maybe have a few drinks, sit around. We'd always have a big bonfire. Sit around a big bonfire. We'd have potluck dinners, potluck lunches, and everybody would bring food and hang out, and there'd be jam sessions amongst musicians here and there under the shade of this one old cottonwood tree I remember in particular next to the barn. Provided a magnificent shade for lots of people to gather under and hang out. I mean to tell you, brother, it was one hell of a place. But when it was all sold and had become a thing of the past for all of us, I wrote a piece, and a waltz, and I called it "Farewell to Kimmswick." I'm going to play it for you now, if I can. Let's try all this again. Been quite a few years, actually, since I even attempted to play this waltz. I'm a bit rough on it, as you can see. Farewell to Kimmswick. Man, we had some times out there, boy. It was, of course, we were back in the prime of our lives. We had the world by the ass. We were young, full of vim, and vigor, and fine young men, pretty young women, great music, great string bands, some great fiddle players out there. Jeff Seitz and the Ilmo Boys. Reese Jones was a regular fiddle player out there. He was just a young feller. He was still a teenager at the time that he played there. Of course, my name is Marc Rennard, and I played there regularly. Bob Borgeding, another feller that would play fiddle music out there. Let's see, who are some of the other players? I think Charlie Walden might have showed up a few times over those years and played out there. Probably Chirps Smith. Quite sure he showed up out there. Robert Freeman, currently of Indiana. It was a magical time for all of us. I hope you enjoyed the waltz, for it was written in memory of a magical time and place that is completely gone from the face of this earth forever, except in our memory and our memories. Good night.